Hi there, everybody. Good morning. So for this particular class, you are going to need a foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, a Pilates ball will do. For what we're using them for in today's class, you can swap them out, but you essentially are using them kind of to help facilitate some rolling and things like that. And then you'll need a resistance band. Anything between light to medium resistance as far as strength will do. You could potentially use a strap, but really a resistance band, something if you don't have a resistance band at home, you can certainly use something like pantyhose. There won't be a lot of resistance, but it will also get the job done. So we can get creative. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start with our breathing, and you can lengthen those legs out, relax your shoulders, hands on your rib cage, middle fingers gently touching. We want that thoracic breath, so not breathing into the belly and not breathing and lifting those shoulders at all. All that movement is happening in the rib cage. As we take, got somebody calling me. As we take a deep inhale, breathing into the front, back, and sides of the ribs, and exhale. Rib cage draws down. Again, deep inhale. And exhale, allowing the rib cage to draw down, feeling the abdominal connection. Let's do 2 more breaths. Inhale through the nose. Relax the shoulders. Allow the rib cage to expand. And exhale through the mouth. And let's do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, go ahead and bring your hands down by your sides and bend your knees, feet flat, and then make sure that your hip flexors haven't fired, that you bent your knees. Keep those relaxed. Tailbone is nice and heavy, little bit of natural curve under that lumbar. And then I want you to imagine you have a bowl of water sitting on your pubic bone. When you're in this neutral position, meaning natural curve under your lower back, tailbone is nice and heavy, making contact with the mat. That bowl of water is level and neutral. Now scoop the belly up and out here. So it's like you're trying to put on a tight pair of skinny jeans. Or another way to look at it is if you have a string, one end tied on each hip, you're trying to get that string nice and taut across the hips for that nice scooping up and in sensation. From here, again, not using the hip flexors, you're going to exhale, going into that pelvic tilt. That bowl of water is going to drain into the belly button. Lower back is maybe gently going to make contact with the mat. Don't jam it in. And we inhale back to neutral. Water is level in the bowl. Exhale, scoop the belly up and in as we tilt into what we call imprint. Lower back is gently making contact. Inhale back to neutral. And continue to just rock back and forth, making sure that you're not pressing into your feet to find that tilt. It's all coming from the deep abdominals here, those lower transversus abdominals. For 2 and neutral. Last 1. And neutral and hold. Hands down by your sides if they're not already there. Shoulders relaxed. Think about smiling with your collarbone. So you're trying to really kind of broaden through your collarbone and think of like again, you're trying to create a nice big smile. You're in that neutral position and we want to do our best to maintain it. So try not to tuck the tailbone under if you can help it. Take a deep inhale, scoop the belly up and in. Exhale, one leg up to tabletop. Take another inhale. Exhale, other leg comes up to tabletop. We're trying to maintain that neutral position and a flat tummy. Going into our toe taps. Inhale, tap. Exhale, up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, up. So our pelvis is nice and stable. It's not rocking at all. It's not tilting at all. And that comes from that deep core connection here. It helps create that pelvic stability. For 2, exhale, up. And 1, exhale up. Hold here. Bring your arms out to a T. Shoulders relax down and keep those shoulders glued down. You're going to inhale, allow those knees and feet to tip to about 45 degrees, maybe just a little bit deeper, but don't let them come all the way down. And then exhale, come back up to center. Inhale, other direction. Keep that opposing shoulder glued down. So we're going into the spinal twist. And exhale, center. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. And continuing a few more times. We're just trying to mobilize the spine here. And one more time. And go ahead and come back to center. Release the feet down, hip width apart, making sure those toes are directly forward. And bring those hands back down to your side, palms up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Again, create that smile. Make sure you're grounding down through your big to baby toe so you feel you don't let those knees collapse in or out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, scoop the belly up and in, tilt the pelvis through that imprint position, and continue to articulate up one vertebra at a time. Paying attention that the knees aren't collapsing in or bowing out. You want them directly over those middle toes. Once you reach the top, think about touching your knees or trying to touch your knees to the wall or whatever's in front of you, squeezing your glutes from the back so you feel this nice stretching in the quads and also the hip flexors. Take a deep inhale at the top and exhale. Think about lengthening out the top of the head as you sink down in the rib cage. Then allow the middle back to come down, lower back, and tailbone. Inhale, we find that neutral position always. Exhale, tucking under and continue to tuck and articulate. One vertebra at a time here. So we're mobilizing the spine, trying to find mobility in each vertebra. Take an inhale at the top. And exhale, sink in the sternum. Bring the back of the ribs down first. Think about lengthening out the top of the head so you alleviate any kind of tension in the neck. And lower back and tailbone, neutral spine. Exhale, tucking under and articulating up. Really try to imagine each vertebra peeling one at a time. Inhale at the top and exhale, articulate down, 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 and hold here in that neutral position. We're going to go ahead and go into a little bit of glute work. Bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees open like the pages of a book. And do your best to keep your knees fairly wide here. We're going to get a little inner thigh workout here as well as glutes. Take an inhale, make sure we're in that neutral spine, tummy is tight. Exhale, squeeze your glutes from the back to lift the hips. Now again, do your best to keep your knees fairly wide. That's where the work from the inner thighs comes to stabilize. And we inhale, tap the hips down, exhale, squeeze, lift. Inhale, tap, exhale, squeeze, lift. So imagine you're trying to hold a $100 bill between those cheeks as you really squeeze up. You're in no way should feel this in your lower back. If you are, tighten up your abdominals here, scooping up and in even more. And make sure that you're not popping the ribs out as you lift, that you're not lifting from the ribs, okay? You should be squeezing from the back to find that lift. For 8, and tap. 7, feeling those inner thighs. They're trying to stabilize here. For 5, really give those glutes a real good squeeze at the top. 4, shoulders relaxed for 3, 2, and let's hold it up at the top here. And just from here, just give me an extra little squeeze. So it's super small. You barely see my hips moving because I'm at my highest point, and then I'm just trying to get a little higher with that squeeze from the back. 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, tummy tight, 2 and 1, and carefully release down. Good. From here, if you've got a foam roller, grab that. If you've got your ball, grab that. And regardless of what you have, you're going to place the item about 1.5 feet under your mat. So it's under there. And then you're going to come back so that your back of the ribs are against your object. Interlace your fingers and then press your head into your hands so that you're not using your neck at all to keep you up. Okay, elbows are fairly wide, feet are hip width apart, press through the heels, draw the toes back towards your face, and try to keep your feet flat. So like your feet were up against a wall, so they're not turning in at all or out. Okay, tummy is tight. You have an invisible orange between that chin and chest we want to keep in place. You're going to inhale and bring that spine, not by lifting the head, but by allowing the spine to come over your object. And exhale, think about gliding your ribs down to meet your hips. And inhale, we find that little extension of the spine. And exhale, up. Inhale, back. Exhale, up. Really making sure we're scooping up and in. So we're maintaining that pelvic stability. We're not feeling like we're gonna rock side to side, that we're losing our balance in any way. For 5, and exhale up. Try to glide up a little or glide those ribs down a little further. For 4, exhale up. Find that contraction. For 3, exhale up. For 2, up. And last one, hold it up. And this time we're gonna add on, as you inhale, go ahead, bring your upper body back. This time, as you exhale, you're gonna hover your right heel 3 inches off the mat. Leg is straight, you're drawing your kneecap up towards the heart, so your quad is nice and engaged. Inhale, we extend over as we lower that foot. Exhale, other side. So again, we're really scooping up and out with those lower abdominals so we don't feel like we're rocking here at all. Inhale back. Exhale, scooping up and in as we lift. And inhale, lower. So again, your foot only needs to come off about 3 inches. You don't want to bring it up too high, especially if you're working on finding those core muscles. If you go up too high, you really can't stabilize here. Scooping up and in as we exhale, come up. Inhale back. Exhale up. And inhale back. Let's do 3 more. For 3, and back. For 2, really glide the ribs down, and back. Last one. Now I'm going to have you hold here, keep that upper body where it is, and go ahead and bring that leg up to tabletop. Take an inhale. Exhale, upper body stays where it is, and we're going to bring that other leg up to tabletop. We're going to do our best to hold our upper body in that stable kind of flexed position. Head is heavy in the hands, going into our toe taps. We inhale, tap. Exhale, scoop it up and lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale up. Head is heavy in the hands, invisible orange or golf ball between that chin and chest. Okay, so you're not jamming your chin into your chest. Wow. For 4, exhale up. And 3, exhale up. For 2, and 1. Now we're gonna go into double. So I'm gonna have you bring your upper body over the ball and allow your feet to come down a little bit, only as far as you can before you start to feel your back arching in any way, and exhale up. Inhale, we lower both sides a little bit, and exhale up. So for me, I cannot get my toes to the mat without really arching my back. So I don't care if your toes tap, it's just finding that point where you really feel your abdominals working before you get into your lower back at all, and then coming back up from there. Let's do 4 more. For 4, exhale up. And 3, exhale up. And 2, last one, exhale up and hold. Let's finish with the Pilates 100 here. Arms out to the sides, broaden through your collarbone. You're bouncing 2 invisible tennis balls. Arms are straight and strong. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2. In. And exhale. Make sure you're scooping that belly out. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Last time. Hold, crunch up a ½ inch further, release your feet, release your upper body, and allow yourself to just kind of open up, take that long-bodied stretch, let that rib cage pop towards the ceiling to lengthen out the abdominals. When we're stretching, it's okay to let the rib cage pop, but in general, it's not what we want. Good. And then go ahead and remove your object for now. And then let's go ahead and roll on to our side and set whatever you've got to the side for now. And actually, I'm going to have you prop yourself up. I just think we're going to go into kind of a side lying series. So I'd like your elbow to be directly under your shoulder, and you're pressing up and out here. And make sure that your waist isn't drooping towards the mat, that you're kind of lifting up and out. You feel your obliques here nice and tight. Knees are bent about 90 degrees, okay? And make sure your hips are stacked. So that's another reason why we don't want to be dumping into our waist. You want to find that little bit of lift, and hips are stacked. So make sure that top hip isn't rolling back. So if you notice the knee is shorter than the other, your hips aren't stacked. So you want to make sure knees are one on top of the other, okay? Tummy is tight. And then from here, we're not moving the hip, we're just moving the we're moving the femur in the socket, okay? So you're just gonna open the clam and close. Open and close. Tummy is tight here. Making sure that the hip isn't rolling back. So again, it's just the femur in the socket that's moving. We're not rolling back to open that hip or open that knee. So I don't care how big the clam opens, the important part is that control. So we're working on our side butt, those glute meads. For 5, shoulder out of the ear, lifting up and out. 4, and 3, 2, last one, hold it here, tummy's tight, little pulses, back and back. 8, 7, don't let the hips roll back. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it there. From here, you're gonna tap the knees together. So again, rotation is happening in the socket, and tap the heels. Tap the knee and tap the heels. So no rolling forward and back at all. We're stable, tummy's tight. For 5, press out of that shoulder. You're lifting up and out. 4, and 3, 2, and 1, hold those heels together. Now just lift the heels off the mat. So you're just a little less stable here because we don't have the full leg down. And then from here, close the clam and open the clam. Close and open, making sure our hip isn't rolling back in the process. So you should definitely feel that side butt, that hip area. It might be a little crampy. It's uncomfortable. Okay, that means it's working. It's so important for our hip health to have strong glute meads here. For 5, and 4, 3, 2, hold it open, little pulses, tummy's tight, press back and back. For 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Let's hold here. You're just gonna bend, take that top knee and push it towards the ceiling. And then make sure your heels aren't too, and then make sure that that top leg is in front of your bottom. And then make sure your heels aren't too close to your butt. You want them at least 90 degrees bent, if not a little bit wider angle. And then from here, go ahead and you can come up onto your hand, slightly in front of the shoulder. Top hand is going to, or palm is going to be towards the ceiling. We're lifting up and out. We're going to go into a side bend here. Take an inhale. Exhale, we press those hips towards the ceiling. Find that beautiful arc. And inhale, we bring it back down. So make sure that your front foot is in front of the bottom foot, like you're kind of tapping, it's like right in that little crevasse, if you will, crevice, that foot just kind of perfectly fits. And we exhale, press up, finding that side bends. And inhale down, let's do 2 more. Exhale, press and lift. And inhale, lower. 1 more time, exhale, press and lift, whoop. And we inhale, lower. Good. From here, let's go ahead and just flip those legs around. We're gonna do our clam on the other side, come back down onto that forearm, pressing up and out. Knees are about 90 degrees and stacked perfectly. We're not draping that waist in, we're lifting up and out, tummy is tight. You can place that hand on that top hip, and we open the clam and close. So you'll notice I have much less range of motion on my left side because of some of my hip issues, which is fine. So it looks different. And a lot of people, you're gonna have more mobility on one side, just like one side tends to be stronger or more flexible. Okay, and that's why it's important to kind of break down the sides like this so that we can practice them independently of one another so we can work on that imbalance and hopefully better it. Tummy is tight, we're pressing up out of that shoulder for 5, and 4, 3, 2. Hold it open. Make sure that the hips aren't rolling back. Little pulses back and back. So it's at your highest point, and you're just trying to take it a ½ inch higher to really feel that side butt working. 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it there. We're going to go tap the knee, tap the heel. Tap the knee, tap the heel. Tap and tap. Again, we're trying to keep that hip from moving at all. It's just that femur in the socket here. For 5 and 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold those heels together and then just lift those feet off the mat, and we close the clam and we open the clam. We close and we open. Tummy is tight. We're not draping that waist into the mat. We're lifting using those obliques. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to hold it open going into our little pulses to finish for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs down, and then take that top foot and place it just in front of the bottom. That top knee is going to be towards the ceiling, and again, make sure your knees are at least, or they are not bent any more than 90 degrees, maybe even a little wider or longer angle, if you will. Go ahead and come up onto your hand, pressing up and out of the shoulder, that top or other hand, palm up, resting on the knee. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, we come up into that side bend, and inhale, we tap down. Exhale, lengthen, lift. Inhale, down. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, lengthen, lift. Push those hips high. Inhale, down. 1 more time. Exhale, lengthen, lift. Press out of that shoulder. And inhale, bring it down. Good. From here, you're going to grab either your foam roller or your ball. And we're going to roll onto our belly for a little bit of back work. So I'll demonstrate with both the ball or foam roller. So go ahead and bring your feet about the width of the mat and kind of turn out your toes so that they're facing the corners of the mat. And then whatever you've got, your foam roller or your ball, it's going to come out in front of you and kind of rest probably on your wrists or like somewhere around your wrist forearm area. Now we're going to start easy. You're going to pull your tummy in towards the spine, trying to create space, like you're going to get a piece of paper under there, and you're going to squeeze your glutes and you're going to lengthen those legs like crazy. Now you can feel that that object, your ball or your roller, is trying to kind of pull those shoulders up into the ears. Go ahead and let it for a second, and then activate the back muscles and glide your shoulder blades down to create space between your shoulders and ears. And allow the object to pull the shoulders up, and use the muscles to pull down, making sure tummy is tight, glutes are engaged. And up, and back muscles engaged to come down. So this is a very small little movement, but it's really important to help find those back muscles that we need to keep the shoulders down away from the ears, to understand how to activate them. Okay, let's do 1 more time. Allow the shoulders to come up, and then pull down. So obviously if you're using a ball, your hands are just going to be closer together, but it's essentially the same thing. Keep the shoulders down. Okay, activate those back muscles, those lats. Tummy's tight. Squeeze your glutes here. And from here, this time, I want you to keep your shoulders down, and that roller's gonna, or that ball or whatever it is gonna roll back, and you're gonna find that little baby lift, making sure your shoulders stay down. You're tightening your butt like crazy. Tummy's tight to protect your spine. And we slowly release. And we pull back, shoulders down. So we're engaging the back muscles here to find that lifting out position. And we lower. And we exhale, lengthen, lift. And we inhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, lengthen, lift, shoulders down, tummy tight, butt squeezing, and we lower. And this time we're going to lengthen, lift, and I want you to hold it at the top. Okay, shoulders down. Now lengthen those legs like crazy. And I want you to try to lift. Ooh, I usually keep going. I'm going to have to double up my mat. I usually have a fatter mat that I use. because my pubic bone is digging into, in my basement here, it's cement under it, so there's no padding, so it's a little hard to be in this position. So that's better. So if you need to, you can double up your mat or use a towel. I just don't have one handy. Anyways, so you're up in that lengthened position, and I want you to squeeze your butt like crazy, and then try to just lengthen and lift your right toes. I'm doing my left so you can see me, and lower. Lengthen and lift the right side, so your glutes are squeezing like crazy, and lower. So you're literally lifting maybe an inch off the mat, and lower. Lengthening up and out, so you're trying to create that extension both at the top of the body and the lower body. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze, lift, and lower. Your butt's got to be squeezing like crazy, tummy tight. Squeeze, lift, lower, and release. Good. From here, go ahead and bring yourself up. Keep your ball or whatever you've got, your roller, and go ahead and take kind of more of a puppy dog stretch to start. So stick your butt up in the air. Chest melts towards the mat. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, tilt the tailbone under and curl the spine and begin to kind of go into more of a cat position as you roll back. Whoops. And we inhale, let that ball, that object, whatever you're using, roll forward. It's going to roll up on your arms. That's normal. And exhale. Find that roundingness of the spine, really pulling that belly button up and in. Inhale, we find that extension, butt sticks out. And exhale. And inhale, extend. Exhale, rounding. Try to push that spine towards the ceiling. Let's do one more. Inhale, extend. And exhale, rounding. And then go ahead and allow your hands to come off whatever object you're using and roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Good. From here, go ahead and grab your resistance band. And take a seated position. Place the band around your feet and sit up as absolutely tall as you can. If you need to bend your knees to do so, do so. So I want you to feel that you're balancing on the bony part of your butt and you're lifting. You should feel your back muscles activating to find that beautiful tall spine. Head is centered. You're not leaning forward with your chin or back, okay? So if you need to bend your knees, go for it. And then you're gonna wanna choke up probably a decent amount on your band. And you're just gonna exhale, draw your elbows in towards your side, and carefully release without the shoulders rolling forward. And exhale, squeeze back, activating the back muscles, and release. Exhale, squeeze, pull, and release. Exhale, squeeze, pull, and release. For 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold it back, little pulses, back, sit up tall, little bit taller. String is kind of pulling the top of the head towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. And just go ahead and set that band there. And again, if you need to, keep your knees bent if it allows you to sit up taller. Some days my hip flexors allow me to do it, some days they don't. And then go ahead and bring your arms out in front. And actually go ahead and widen your legs maybe. No wider than the mat, but hip width somewhere around there. And again, bend your knees if you need to. I might bend my knees a little bit now. And sit up tall. And then from here, we're gonna add a little twist. So it's kind of like you're drawing, if you've ever, used a bow and arrow. I don't know how many people actually have. But you're gonna kind of pull that bow back. You're gonna look over that shoulder or elbow you're bending. Make sure your hips are stable, so your hips aren't twisting. You're just kind of twisting that rib cage around the spine to find that twist. And we come back to center. Exhale, we twist as we pull back, still isolating those little back muscles, and center. Exhale, twist and pull back, and center. Wendy, can you sit up a little taller? Bend your knees, I think. Yeah, I think, yep, because you want to be sitting right on the bony part of your butt.
it looks like you're kind of slouching. I can see that your lumbar is not quite tall enough. Good. And we pull back and center. Squeeze, pull, and center. So we're trying to, again, isolate the body so that our hips, because what a lot of people do is they twist here, so they'll notice their knees kind of shift, okay? But we want those sit bones to be grounded. They're not moving at all as you twist, so that the twist is literally just happening in that thoracic spine from the waist up. For 2, center, and 1, center. From here, go ahead and grab your band again and place it around your feet. And it's up to you. The band is going to be there to both help, facilitate, as well as offer some challenge. So depending on how strong your band is, you might want to choke up a little more. I'd start somewhere in the middle, and then you can work from there. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Sit up tall. Take an inhale, lengthen out even more. Exhale, tilt the tailbone under and begin to round back, coming into kind of a half roll back. Hold. Elbows are going to be about shoulder height as you pull back. And release. So scoop the belly up and in. We're trying to hold here. So we're using our abdominals to keep us in this half roll back. And then we're using our back muscles as we draw back with the band. For 5. And 4. Shoulders down. 3. 2. And last 1. Arms come forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, I want you to round forward over those thighs. And inhale, stack up to a flat back. And while we're here, let's go ahead and finish with some stretching. So go ahead and you can use the band to help facilitate. You can come up a little closer and just find that forward fold here. And then go ahead and carefully release. And bend your knees, place your hands behind you, and place your right ankle on your left knee. And then your fingertips can be towards or away from your butt. It's whatever's comfortable. And then just walk your hands a little closer towards your butt to sit up taller. So make sure you're not dumping into your shoulders. And you'll feel that nice hip opener here. So the closer you allow your chest to get towards your thighs, okay, the more intense the stretch is going to be. So you can play with that. This is essentially just another version of figure 4, which you can do laying down. You can do standing up. You can use an object, or it's almost like a pigeon pose. You can kind of drape yourself like one leg on your bed. There's many, many variations of this. So again, sitting up absolutely as tall as you can, not dumping into those shoulders. Take a few more deep breaths. And carefully release, and let's switch sides. Sitting up absolutely as tall as you can, shoulders down, and feel that lengthening. And again, if you feel like, okay, I've kind of released a little bit, you can walk those hands in a little closer, finding a little more lift to deepen that intensity. And carefully release. And then go ahead and sit up with your legs crossed here. Place your left hand on your right knee, taking a nice spinal twist, sitting up nice and tall. And release, other side. And release, hands down by your sides. Take a deep inhale, circle the arms up. And exhale. Again, deep inhale. And exhale. One more time, deepest breath you've taken all day. Bring your hands down through heart center. and give yourself a little round of applause.